Hello, today is the 29th of September 2017. Now it's 5:39 local time. Unfortunately, I didn't record the first video for this particular trade, but I still want to show it, therefore I show you the screenshot I made. So I went long here, the reason being that at this price level in pound dollar we had a big short accumulation, so the dumb money was short around this level near the low, and we had a speech of Bank of England's Carney. So therefore I bought a pound dollar around 1.3357 and it took profit around 1.3388. So let me show you the market now. So this was a very nice trade. Now the reason why the price went so quickly up as expected was not a comment by Carney. So normally when the speech takes place, there can be big moves as a result of strong comments. However, in this particular case, he didn't say something very essential regarding rates and so on. So this was driven by the shorties in the market. Yeah, so when the price was down here, these shorties were in profit. I call this lasso principle. So that means that there's a tendency for the smart money algos to quickly catch those guys again before they can take any profits. So they're down, they were risking those shorties, but they're long-term traders, so they're not going for 20 pips, they're trying to score more, so they're sticky, as I say. So they stayed in the market, and then they approached the next shorties in the market. So there was too much, all these shorties were in profit, so there was energy to the upside, like with a rubber band, which is overstretched. And there were stops at this high. Let me see whether I can show that particular. Yeah, here you can still see it here. Yeah, so basically we had short-term stops around the high, and then also significant stop accumulation just below the high. So that was the target for this price move. Now we see here the next money longy, so that's the reason why I wanted to get out here. Yeah, I didn't want to count on the price going up even more, letting those guys into profit, which is what actually happened. So they went for the whole grail pattern and even took out that one here, but I didn't trade that, so I exited at the longies right here. So this is a very good example in order to demonstrate once more how the Forex game works, how the market maker manipulation is conducted on a daily basis. What the principles are, I defined all these principles, I gave them different names to make it more understandable. So it's not only about stop hunting, it's not only about positions, it's about also some additional meta levels, because the smart money algos want to make sure that everybody loses, whether they bought or sold, whether they are in the market for the long term or for the short term, and they achieve that by doing those kind of price actions. So by actually making sure that the big positions are drawn into loss. Now there's a certain money tolerance, yeah. So when the price went down here, those guys were in profit for some time. So obviously there's a certain money tolerance, as I call it. Otherwise the price could never move. So the smart money takes into account that as long as a certain objective can be achieved, like taking out big stops, some dumb money traders are allowed to get a bit into profit. But obviously, since these guys for the next trade will be on the target positions, they will be hunted next time, right? And as you can see in this particular example, those guys, they didn't even exit. So they just were thinking, okay, it's going our favor now, but we want it to go down, maybe break the low, and ride a downtrend. This could be trend traders trying to stick to the downtrend. So they didn't even take any profits, and they were quickly again placed into loss. And as you can see, when they achieved the stop run up here with the grail, look, then they quickly go down now in order to make sure those longies cannot get into profit, you see. And now the price is stuck between longies and shorties, so it could even go flat, you know, whipsaw a bit, take some close stops, but then go back to the center. Yeah. So these are good examples to explain those dynamics. And once you understood it, it's quite straightforward. And also look at this, when the price yesterday went up here against those shorties, you know, they are not, you know, placing the stops at 40 pips or something, so they actually don't want to take the loss, so they were holding over all these drawdowns. So then the price came back to them, went a bit in their favor, and now they were caught again. So this is true for both sides, and there are different priorities for the smart money algos depending on stops, on certain meter levels, which I didn't explain so far, and even fundamentals, which also can play a role. But maybe I cover this in different videos. So here I just wanted to explain some more principles. Normally I record the trades live from the beginning to the end, so that, you know, it can be seen how this is conducted live. So, you know, I try to document most trades. Obviously, for example, today when there was a speech, I had to pay attention to what Kani says, you know, which can lead to quick price moves, so it was a bit difficult to record it. And yes, so that's basically how the market works. Yeah, so we have the smart money algos, the cartel, you know, of market makers moving the price against the so-called dark money traders who think that the market would be random, who think that, you know, the price would be a result of supply and demand. Both of these common beliefs are completely incorrect, as it should be clear by now. And yeah, so the approach to trade this is to wait for the opportunities where the market micro and macro structure becomes clear and you can place trades without getting hunted or, you know, position hunted. And yeah, there can be complex situations as well. So another thing is that the smart money tries to stick to a certain degree of plausibility, which means that when there are fundamental news, and if the dumb money is placed in their favor, they will try to price in the news correctly and so on. Anyways, so that was an interesting situation here. Now looking for the next trades.